Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Blue Sicx Tarot. I'm your host Blue Sicx, and today we'll be doing a weekly forecast. Don't forget you can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram and Tumblr at Blue Sicx Tarot. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and also click that bell notification. And for this week's forecast, we'll be using the Nicoletta tarot deck. See it there? No refrain. And this will be for the 5th to the 11th of August. So we'll roll onto the table and let's see what comes up. So if you're new to this channel, what I usually do, 3 cards for the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and the weekend. So let's see what this comes out with us this week. Okay, tell you what, we'll do a spread version today, so we'll do, I'll do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and the weekend. Right, so it's just a bit off camera, but we shall sort that out in a second. Okay, so Monday and Tuesday we have the Queen of Cups. Just put a little bit of that there. Right, so the Queen of Cups. So at the start of next week we'll have a kind of, apologies for that. So beginning of next week we'll have a you'll have like a nurturing figure, and she's one of those people who are very emotionally supportive, and to help out with anything, she's the sort of shoulders to cry on, and she doesn't necessarily tell you what you need to hear, or tell you what you want to hear. She's the sort of person who you can just open up to, let everything out, and she won't really judge you about it. She won't tell you if you're right or wrong. She'll just listen and give you the hug that you need. So at the beginning of the week, you'll be spending time with someone who is just very supporting and nurturing. So Wednesday and Thursday we've got the Three of Swords. Now for the 3, the artistry is quite nice because of the whole butterfly thing, but unfortunately for Wednesday and Thursday there will be an emotional hit, something that you didn't necessarily see coming. So it might be in regards to a personal relationship, now not necessarily a romantic one, but it's something that will hit you in the feelings, and unfortunately it will, as I said, it's kind of coming out of nowhere. So it might be something people have warned you about prior and you might have just not really listened, or it could be something that literally comes out of left field. So we'll do a recap. We'll come back to this one later. But all you need to, the basic gist at the moment is that something will hit you and affect you, and it's how you choose to deal with that is where it kind of falls upon you to kind of know the best way to deal with it. So sometimes if it comes out of nowhere, obviously there's going to be the shock and the emotional response, but then you also need to then maybe sit down and try and process those feelings, because unfortunately feelings can be difficult, especially if it's something that involves love and relationships. Now once again, I don't necessarily mean relationships in a romantic setting. It is just like interpersonal relationships. So Friday and the weekend we have the Chariot. So the Chariot usually is about knowing the right directions to take. So in some depictions it's usually like a fork in the road, or two horses going in opposite directions. So this is a kind of, not a call to action, but more of a point of sit down, because there'll now be a choice to make. There's not, one of them might not necessarily be the right and the wrong choice, but there will be a fork in the road and there will be a choice that needs to be made, and you have to choose the right direction. because this card is about control, and control in how control in which decisions you make, and as I said before, which directions to go in. So just to recap on this, the start of the week was about emotional support and someone who is always there to listen. And then in the middle of the week, something will just kind of hit you in a very emotional way, and unfortunately a negative way. And the outcome and the thing to do is to figure out the best direction to go for. So what I'm going to do, this isn't something I do in my standard videos, but I'll just have a quick aside, and we'll try and see if we can add something to this. Okay, so these are your Spirit Guide Oracle cards. So I don't like how this reading's looked. So usually you can use Oracle cards or another tarot deck to kind of come up with an answer or a solution. So as I'm not quite happy with how this looks, I'm going to use this deck to come up to find an answer or a direction, because there's going to be a fork in the road. You now need to know which is probably the best way to deal with this. So just having a quick shuffle. Ooh, there we go. We'll choose the top card. There's 2 cards here, but we'll pick the top one. Oh, there's 3. Okay, but we'll pick the top one here. So it says, so this card says, awakening to you. I'll just read the bottom here. It's time to shed your past and focus on your goals. You are getting there. So if there is a person, whether if it's this emotional support person here, or just someone else that's kind of affected you emotionally, and you have to pick a direction to go in, this card is basically saying, pick the direction that is about the future, because this is implying that one of the paths to take is going back to this person, the person who's hurt you, essentially. So this is basically saying to just forget the past and move on and focus on your goals and targets, rather than your relationship with this particular individual, because sometimes it's always better to just leave the people you don't need in your life and to move on and focus on yourself. So this card is basically saying, whoever's done this, who's ever actually hurt you in this scenario, the best thing to do is just kind of go, okay, if you're going to do this, then I'm just going to pack my bag and walk away. And I mean that more in a metaphorical sense, of course, but it's essentially saying, just get up, just leave them, just drop them and move forward, because they're someone of your past, or someone you've had spent a long time with, and so now just move on and go forward. Don't look back, don't fall back to the past, and don't try and recreate how things were, because that's not what it is now. So leave the past behind you, go forward, and focus on yourself, focus on your goals. So sorry about that, I had to chuck in an extra card because I did not like how this ended, so I did want to chuck in something extra, which is something, if you're new to tarot, this is something you can do. I'll be doing a video about this in the future, in about a couple of weeks maybe, hopefully. So this is the forecast for next week, and once again, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, hit the bell notification, and as I said, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram and Tumblr at Sicx Tarot, where I do daily card readings every morning between 9 and 10 British time, so GTM. So once again, I hope you enjoyed the reading as much as you can enjoy this sort of reading, I guess. And I'll see you in this, and I'll see you soon. See you in the future.